Hello, YouTube. It's your main man, BTM here, bringing you back to the BTM Crypto News Network. And we're talking about XRP and what is really going on with this lawsuit with the SEC. Will the case ever freaking end? What is going on? But it looks like they have reached an agreement, and I guess they will convene in 30 days to settle the case, dismiss the case, drop the case. I don't know what's going on. But the lawsuit continues to drag on. What has to happen to get closure to the freaking lawsuit? But we're going to get into that today, kind of go over some of the information, read some of the X postings, and of course, watch a couple videos. Also, the ETFs are going to start cranking once things start moving with the lawsuit. So let me know what you guys think about that as well. And if you got any new information into XRP, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and super chat, and hit your main man BTM up when you got a chance. So let's see what's going down. Let me turn on the spotlight. So let's see here where we, okay, there we go. So here's BTM Crypto News Network. Check it out. Come over to X, join us, like, share, and subscribe, and let me know what you think. Some breaking news: Amazon just approved XRP for payments following Ripple partnership. Interesting. RippleNet's decentralized global network of bank payment providers using Ripple's disputed financial technology, which provides real-time messaging, clearing, and settlement for financial transactions. Ripple connects banks, payment providers, and digital assets exchanges and corporate via RippleNet to provide frictionless experience to send money. Key Ripple products that enable RippleNet members include X current process real-time payments. Does not say anything here about the partnership. Interesting. Going back to X, quick video, bullish for XRP. XRP can soar 200% by the end of the year. Standard Chartered Bank, they must play conservative IMO. What the frick does IMO mean?
The
Check this
XRP
video out
network,
real
fourth
quick though.
largest crypto by market cap.
See with this, let me turn the volume up a second. Let me know where you from in the chat. Go ahead and check in.
Could hit $5.50 a piece by the end of this year. The bank's digital assets researcher Jeff Kendrick said in a note. The numbers we were getting before, like I said, we're seeing different numbers, but still relatively optimistic. For cryptocurrency prices, the base line that we were receiving more or less was for a $10 to $15 XRP. This bank is stating that by the end of this year, we should see around $5.50. This seems incredibly low comparative to the previous all-time high, especially for all the things that have actually been going on. I'm glad I'm not the only one noticing this as well. I don't remember the username on Twitter, but someone like broke it down. This was a couple of days ago. They like completely, they were talking about for every coin. It wasn't just XRP, it was across the board. They were going over Bitcoin, how many new mining operations there are, how high the hash rate is compared to 2021. The brand new institutions, it was a crazy looking chart. I'll see if I can find it. All the new institutions who've gotten to the space, how much they've accumulated. And basically, they were trying to mathematically figure out exactly how high we should be in price just with all of that news. And it was one of those we should currently be above 200,000, but dramatic market uncertainty. We're also talking about XRP as well and all the partnerships. And I appreciate the idea of $5.50, but I think a lot of this has to do with market timidity and people basically not really knowing where things are going to be by the end of this year. But 550 seems incredibly low, especially with what was that thing that just happened? Ripple just bought some like money transmitter company for like $1 billion something dollars, and people think that alone will add another $5 or $6 to XRP price.
Yeah, apparently that didn't happen either. But I don't know what's keeping the price down because there's all kind of announcements coming out, right? If this was anything else, this thing would have been through the roof by now. But I don't know. I guess it's just the way the cookie crumbles, as they say. XRP entering to an era of yield generation part two, huge potential for retailers and institutions to put idle digital assets to work. Come back and check this video out later. Seems to be a pretty long video, so we'll check that. This is Good Morning Crypto. Pause this real quick. ETFs and XRP, the perfect storm for price surge. Let's check this guy out. And why did the volume not go up? Let me see. Is the volume up? Did you guys? Let's see here. Forgot the volume didn't go up. No wonder.
These are one, the ETFs are going to be massive because you're talking about these are liquid. Think of these as giant vacuum cleaners that are just laid right over into the pool to suck up all the liquidity of the XRP. Every time someone buys a position in the ETF, XRP goes into a qualified custodian. It's not available anymore. Now we have a tune of 18 of those, and it is rumored that BlackRock will be soon to announce their ETF. There are 11 trillion assets under management. So I'll let you do the math on that. So, this demand is going to create an upward pressure on the price. Now let's go to the other side of it. We get legislation passed for everything we need by August, let's say, for the sake of this conversation. Market infrastructure bill, taxes, stable coins. It's all done. Nothing left to talk about. The only thing left to do is implement it into your business model. That means every market maker making a market using it for payments every day needs it every single day. But they're watching everyone over here that sells ETFs, selling ETFs, taking off like gangbusters. So while they're using it every day, they're realizing, shit, the price of this thing's going up every day, and I need to use it every day forever, right? So now you have these two clashing with one another, creating a demand for the asset. ETFs are constantly buying it up off of the market. The guy who needs to use it every day says, I better buy as much as I need today for the next however long, because today it costs less than it will tomorrow and the next day and the next day.
Definitely.
One, the ETF.
So as he's talking about, as people see it being used and the adoption picks up, they are going to start seeing the value, right? Obviously, when they see people using it, they're going to think it's worth more. They're going to buy more. So that in two should drive the price up, but we will see. I tried to do that breaking news yesterday with the Swift partnering with Ripple partnering with Swift. Something happened in freaking video. My screen monitor updated and sometimes it goes out. So I don't know. Hopefully we got it fixed. But the Swift is partnering with Ripple, and we all knew that was coming. So there's no big announcement there. Breaking news: the Fed Chair Jerome Powell, both the Senate and the House are looking for a legal framework for stablecoin. Time is coming for RLUSD. And I'm not 100% sure why they're pushing RLUSD so much to be the only stable coin framework, because I think I think your president has his own stable coin in the works as well. So it's probably going to be a big battle to see who wins this stable coin market battle and who becomes the top dog in the stable coin. But I do think RLUSD has a good shot at it, especially with the XRP payment system and the Ripple Labs in the background. Let me know what you guys think about that as well.
We worked with Congress to try to get a framework, a legal framework for stable coins, which would have been a nice place to start. We were not successful. I think that the climate is changing and you're moving into sort of more mainstreaming of that whole sector. So Congress is again looking at, both the Senate and the House are looking at a framework, a legal framework for stable coins. You know, depending on what's in it, that's a good idea. We need that. There isn't one now. And stable coins are a product a digital product that could actually have fairly wide appeal and should contain consumer protections of the typical sorts and transparency. And that's what the Senate and the House are working on. So that's a positive thing. You know, we took a pretty conservative, and other bank regulators took an even more conservative perspective on the guidance and rules we imposed on banks. I think there'll be some loosening of that, and I think we'll try to do it in a way that preserves safety and soundness, but that, you know, permits and fosters appropriate innovation, that does so in a way that again doesn't put consumers at risk in ways they don't understand or make banks less safe and sound. We worked with Congress to try to.
When is this guy going to freaking step down? This guy is holding back everything, right? Once they get the Fed out the way, I think crypto is really going to make a run, but it is constantly being slowed down by the Fed and all the regulation. So we'll see how that goes. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. Let's get the comments going. Somebody, anybody, everybody. Let me know what you think about that. Huge news. ProShares just dropped the filing to launch XRP ETF. Bullish vibes for the crypto. Who is ProShares? I think that's one of the ETF companies. Got to go back and check. I do remember that name from somewhere. ProShares files XRP ETFs filed January 17, 2025, accepted March 3rd. ProShares aims to launch ultra short XRP ETF, ultra XRP ETF, short XRP ETF, leverage in inverse XRP exposure incoming approval October through November 2025. Big move if greenlit. Interesting. This is Dave Ramsey comes a long way on crypto. What the freak is Dave Ramsey talking about? Let's see here. See if I can get the that might have something to do with the volume being so low. So let's see if we can hear Dave Ramsey.
And you know, I'm just curious, you know, that the space just seems to be getting bigger and bigger and evolving, and more people are taking it seriously. I was just curious. I think it's going to continue to get bigger, and I think it's going to continue to get better, and it's going to continue to stabilize. I mean, it was a volatile Wild Wild West crap show for a long time, and it kind of still is, really, but it's not nearly as bad as it was when we first started talking about the subject. So I think it's getting better. It's getting more sophisticated. It's probably therefore getting safer. But here, even when it stabilizes and becomes more normalized, so to speak, and it's got a little track record to it, and you can look back and go, okay, the last 15 years, here's what it's done, not the last 15 days. Then you still got to say, okay, what do I want to invest in? And what happens with people with gold or crypto or a lot of other things, it is they confuse the concepts of speculating versus investing. And that's why I've come out so hard on crypto, because I have people calling and saying, I'm not doing investing, I'm investing in crypto, which is an oxymoron. You can't. The only thing you could do in crypto is to speculate. The only thing you can do in gold is to speculate. Speculating is a short-term play. Because if you look at a long-term play on something that doesn't have a track record, crypto, you can't look at a long-term play. You're really, you know, gambling is here, speculating is I'm putting some money in, playing with this. I think I might make some money, but I'm really not thinking 40 years. I'm not thinking 25 years. I'm not thinking I want to retire from this. But this is speculating. Even if you're a home builder and you build a home that doesn't have a buyer, they call it a spec home. They're speculating. It's a short-term play. They didn't build a rental property they're going to keep for 25 years. They built a piece of inventory that they want to turn right now into money. So speculating is short-term. Investing is over here is long-term. They're not the same thing. If you want to speculate, which would not be you're not betting the farm, you're not betting your quality of life, you're not betting your wealth building portfolio on it. You know, I've got friends that are worth $100 million, and they've got, they put $1 million in crypto. But if they burned $1 million in the middle of their kitchen floor, they won't miss it, ratio wise. That's speculating, and that's a proper view of that. If you want to do that, I'm not going to yell at you about it. But the reason I've come down so hard on it in the public eye is because I got people not putting money in their 401k and good mutual funds. They're not buying a house. Instead, they're putting 100% of everything they have in the middle of the roulette wheel. And that's stupid. That's just ridiculous. You wouldn't do that with anything that doesn't have a long, wonderful track record. And generally where you want to be with investments, what Buffett talks about is true. I want an investment that is creating wealth, not changing in price. There's a difference. So when Home Depot stock goes up or Apple stock goes up, it's because they made a profit. It's because they put products in the marketplace. There was wealth created. When crypto goes up or gold goes up, it's just because somebody else wanted it more. It's not creating anything. It's called a commodity. And so you speculate on commodities. If you wanted to buy futures in corn, or if you remember the old movie with Eddie Murphy, Trading Places, right? Or frozen orange juice futures or something stupid. Was that what that was? It's kind of funny. But, if you want to play if you want to day trade in stocks, that's speculating. It's a short-term play, and it's just right over here next to gambling. It's not what you would do for your long-term, and so it should be money that you could set fire to. Okay. And you'd be okay with it. If you do that, then you can talk about, okay, how does Bitcoin work? What is the actual chain? How's the whole thing? Yeah, sure, I get all that. That's not the issue. The issue is I talk to 26-year-olds who go, I've invested everything I have in Bitcoin, and it's 200 or it's $50,000, and I don't have anything else but that. Well, why didn't you go to Vegas? Same dadgum deal, man. I mean, if you're pretty good at Texas Hold'em, you probably got as good a shot as you do at Bitcoin. So, it's going to be okay. But I mean, if you chart Bitcoin and you don't see risk, you're dumb, because it's all over the freaking world. And that tells you it's a highly volatile, short-term play, and you're trying to ride this thing out. It's got a cool factor to it because it's technology, and it's a fad, and everybody wants to be in on it and all that kind of stuff. And the funny thing is, in my world, I get so much hate because these guys, it's like a cult. It's like if you don't believe in it, you're going to hell. You know what I'm saying? They're like, Ramsey's completely invalidated everything he's ever said because he doesn't believe in this, and I'm so emotionally and psychologically sold out on this one particular thing. It's like George Camel, one of our guys, says it's like Mary Kay for young men. But if you want to do it, but just be able to burn the amount of money you put in there in the middle of your kitchen table and not miss it. What do you think about crypto? I mean, I've heard you.
That's really weird. Mary Kay for young men. Although, I hate to bust your bubble there, Dave, but Mary Kay ended up making a whole lot of money. Oh, I don't know what you're looking at. That's the weird thing with crypto. Nobody believes it until it's too late. Nobody believed in Mary Kay until she made a freaking $1 billion. So I don't know. A lot of the older people don't want to invest in it because they don't want it to work, right? That's where all this hate and FUD comes from. They don't want it to work. It's not that it ain't gonna work. They don't want it to work. But the joke, as everything else, is gonna be on the people who don't believe because it's working. They said it when Bitcoin was only $5, it wasn't going anywhere. It was $100, it wasn't going anywhere. It was $50,000, it wasn't going anywhere. And it got up to $100,000. So it's only a matter of time before it runs again, right? It ain't going away, guys. Obviously, either you guys can jump on the bandwagon or just lose out. Either way it goes, it's not going away. It's not a fad. It's not something to shun, right? At this point, it's proved its purpose. So either get on board or get left behind. So I don't know. I don't even understand the argument about crypto anymore, right? I'm not even sure what the problem is, right? If you don't like it, the same thing that what is this guy? Finch was saying, right? Larry Finch was like, we're not gonna get Bitcoin. Our users don't want Bitcoin. Bitcoin won't be sellable. Our clients aren't investing in it. A year later, oh, we're all for Bitcoin. Our users want Bitcoin. We're trying to invest as much as we can in technology and cryptocurrency. So, I mean, it's kind of, I guess it's only a matter of time. So, I don't know. They're just weird. Everyone's saying crypto's bad, crypto's evil, crypto's the worst. Now they're all, oh yeah, crypto's cool, crypto's a craze, crypto's turning around, and pretty soon they'll be like, I don't know why you guys didn't invest in crypto because you told them not to. But either way it go, let's keep it pushing. Stuart Alvarado on CNBC just set the record straight. The most comprehensive crypto study in U.S. history highlights one thing: XRP isn't just part of the conversation. XRP is the main event. That's what I'm talking about. Somebody actually talking real versus a bunch of
The
nonsense.
NCA's initial survey sheds light on how Americans are thinking about crypto today. Why was it important to conduct this kind of research? And did anything surprise you in the findings?
A lot surprised me in the findings. So the NCA partnered with the Harris Poll to conduct the largest ever study of crypto holders in America. And what we heard is that crypto is going mainstream. 1 in 5 Americans, 55 million American US adults own or use crypto. And crypto doesn't have a type. Holders come from all walks of life, ages, genders, income levels, professions. More people over the age of 55 own crypto than people under the age of 25. Crypto isn't just for the bros, the crypto bros. Nearly a third of crypto holders are women. And this is interesting, at least I found that it was interesting. Nearly as many crypto holders work in construction as do in the technology sector. And when it comes to income, crypto isn't just for the rich. Many crypto holders are not in high income brackets. 26% of crypto owning households earn less than $75,000 a year. That's just 4 very quick metrics or data points. And when you dig into the report, there's more to learn, all of which I think is, some is surprising, some is not surprising, some is really just confirming what we thought. But now we have a definitive survey, the largest ever of its kind in the US, that folks can now point to and rely on.
That's weird. Where's the survey? Did it mention where the survey was? You go back and check this out. Who has the survey? That's actually pretty interesting. XRP sentiment. Crowd bullish, MP bullish. Check out the sentiment on the other cryptos. Market profit. What is this? Marketprofit.com. Crowd sentiment XRP is a 0, I guess that is. MP smart money sentiment is over. Let's make this bigger, right? So we can actually see it. Looks like a 1 or 0.49 and a 1.3, which is kind of weird. Not really a very descriptive part there. So this is crypto Breaking Ripple CEO predicts $2,948.34 XRP by June 31st, which is crazy, crazy, crazy. Not even gonna watch it, although I'm very tempted to watch it. I don't know. I don't know. Run out of time. What time is it? We'll see 5 minutes worth. Let's see what he's talking.
ProShares Trust XRP ETF. Post CEO has just went on live television confirming that XRP will surpass Bitcoin and that Bitcoin will surpass $200,000 by the end of the year. And this is confirmed, and it comes as the Federal Reserve approves the use of XRP for payments, and that Ripple provides $10 million to the U.S. federal government to begin the process, confirmed once again by Ripple's CEO. All right, guys, and welcome back to today's video as we talk about on the Crypto Geek channel the latest news. And today we have some massive price predictions for XRP, leading with $13.59 once the announcement of settlement, which could happen in the next 48 hours, $157.29 per XRP on relisting on all exchanges, $2,948.34 with the Ripple IPO and bank partners, and $59,238.21 with global CBDC integration. Today, we're focused on $2,940.34 as Ripple's IPO is actually officially set to begin. In fact, ProShares Trust XRP ETF is set to make its public offering on April 30th, 2025, releasing XRP. And, well, in Korea, South Korea to be exact, XRP is already skyrocketed to $50.17 on globalized exchanges. Of course, this is only the start of the massive bull run that will accompany the massive price decrease for XRP, making it reach over $2,940.34. But before we get into today's video, we're setting you guys up with some free XRP. Every single person watching this video can literally get up to $100 worth of free XRP. It literally takes less than 5 minutes, and all you gotta do is tap the like button, subscribe to the channel with your post notifications, and share this video. Once you've done that, you must sign up on Uphold using my link in the description and do a transaction. And once that's complete, and again, the transaction can be any amount, 1 penny, $1, $10. But as long as you go ahead, sign up using my link in the description and do a transaction, you'll literally get yourself up to $100 for you to accumulate even more XRP with. This is a golden opportunity. It's literally free money, so I definitely recommend it. And you never know what the price of XRP can be, potentially in the tens of thousands of dollars. So, with that being said, let's get right into the video. We start off today's video with XRP's price at $2.08, almost $2.09, down about 1.80%. Now, of course, when we talk about XRP, we have to begin by this clip, which is literally the title of today's video, and it's confirming XRP being predicted, the price of XRP being predicted by Ripple CEO himself. So let's go ahead and roll the clip.
Playing out for the crypto industry, for the XRP ecosystem. XRP has been the best performing major crypto in the last 90 days. We think about it as what does that look like over the next 3 years? I'm very optimistic. I mean, Ripple just announced our largest acquisition, actually one of the largest acquisitions in the entire crypto industry to date. We announced it earlier this week on Tuesday in the middle of tariff palooza. I don't know exactly what's going to happen with the tariffs, but we're betting on where the world's going to be in 3 years, not what's going to happen in the next 6 months.
Would you have made that acquisition a year ago?
No, hard no. Look, the SEC in the United States and even other parts of the Biden administration, it was a coordinated attack across many different agencies. We're finding that more and more out now. You already highlighted in your introduction, the IRS had hostile rules about crypto that really didn't make any sense. Banks weren't even allowed to reasonably custody crypto without having an equal offset to their balance sheet, which really makes no sense for a bank then to even partake in this industry. It's a real industry. People want, that administration wasn't listening to consumers. They weren't listening to the voter and what the voter wanted. We're now seeing a significant change across the board. And an acquisition like that would have made no sense a year ago, and it makes a lot of sense now.
It is truly amazing. I am looking at you and I am remembering, was it 2 or 3 years ago? How long has this lawsuit been slapped on you guys?
December 22nd, 2020.
Okay.
So 4.5
four and a half years. We've been talking, and I thought to myself, what's going to happen here? And you are on sort of the edge, the cusp of this just finally disappearing.
For sure. And like, it's good for Ripple. It's good for XRP, but it's also good for the whole industry. We want these industries not to be pushed offshore. And what was happening in the last 4 years is almost the opposite. You know, we think it's safer to push them to offshore entities.
How many employees do you have? Let's let people understand how many people you employ.
With our acquisition, we employ about 1,100 people now.
That's incredible.
And these are high paying jobs. And for a period of time, as you and I have talked about before, for really the 4 years of the Biden administration, we did more hiring outside the United States than here at home. As a US citizen, I grew up in Kansas. I'd like to hire people here. We have some of the best talent in the world here, but it made no sense to invest in a market where we couldn't sign customers. We couldn't actually see banks benefit from a better, simpler cross-border settlement for payments. You know, these are technologies that really can help and revolutionize businesses, consumer experiences, but we have to be able to deliver them to these audiences.
Yeah, I mean, it was more than 10 years ago. I think we had the Winklevoss brothers getting rejected for their push to have an ETF that allowed people to invest.
So I'm suspecting this is an older video because Gary Gensler looks pretty young there. Trying to figure out where they're talking about the 2000. We'll keep it moving. So this is XRP 10,000 confirmed. Why does this number keep going up?
This bull cycle for the simple fact that it's trying to take over the SWIFT banking system. A lot of people forget that the SWIFT banking system does about $5 trillion in transactions a day and about $1.2 quadrillion in transactions a year. Now, the first step to taking over this SWIFT banking system will simply be on July 14th when ISO 222 goes live. This is the new language that banks will have to speak on for cross-border payments, and XRP is the first ever cryptocurrency to be compatible with ISO 222. When this happens, XRP can reach $10,000, $15,000, even $20,000.
Can XRP still reach 10,000?
And that is pretty interesting. I don't know about that. I have to do some research. Let me know if you guys have heard this information before. The Fed's expected to move in June, right after the SEC 60-day window closes. Coincidence? Highly unlikely. While regulators and banks align timelines is not noise, it's choreographed. XRP isn't watching for the sidelines. It's part of the script. So court ordered and gave the SEC 60-day limit to submit the final resolution. It could happen in the next day, next week, etc. Paul Atkins is coming to town this week. Keep that in mind. Interesting. So maybe it's moving faster than we thought. Massive rumor is huge. If true, Swift is reported to close to finalizing a partnership with Ripple to integrate XRP for global cross-border transactions. Billions in XRP are said to be locked escrow to serve as liquidity reserves. It's confirmed this could be the catalyst to send it soaring past 10,000. 10,000 must be the lucky number because it's like the third person, or actually, this is the third one we read where 10,000 popped up. My dream scenario is Swift takes a deal with Ripple where all their banks get to use RippleNet for free, maybe even paying Swift fits our XRP strategy perfectly. What sounded crazy in 2020 might be unfolding now. That is pretty interesting. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. Does that make sense or is this just ludicrous? I don't know. So this is banking. Senator Mike Lee calls to abolish the Federal Reserve. Eliminating the Federal Reserve is the best for economic stability. What? Will XRP be the new backbone of our financial system. That would be awesome. This is what I was trying to get to from earlier. Uh, XRP leads ETF race with the most filings. Currently, wow, there's 10 filings? So who is this? Cardano, H Bar, Move, Sui, Dot, Adira, AVAX, Dodge, Litecoin. Litecoin has ETFs. Solana has 5 and XRP has 10 so far. So things are about to get weird. Breaking. Chair of Federal Reserve Jerome Powell thinks that there will be a loosening of bank rules on crypto and stablecoin as it is becoming more mainstream. I think we've read that already. So this is, what the frick is this? What happened? I think there was an article here, but this is not. Oh, okay, that was the social sentiment. Bitcoin's at 0.5, here 0.4, Solana's 0.4, and XRP is 0.5. I might have to keep this. Looks pretty interesting. So currently, XRP is up 0.5% in the last hour. 122.9 billion market cap. It's down 0.8 for the day, and we're at $2.10. So go to coin ranking, and XRP is under Tether. Tether USD is 144.6 billion. XRP is 123.4. Ethereum is 192 billion, and Bitcoin is 1.6 trillion. Bitcoin's at 84,000. Ethereum's at 1,500. Ethereum is way down. Tether's at a buck, and XRP's at $2.12. So we're back over $2, and looks like Solana's running pretty hard. 68.4 billion market cap. So this is SEC versus Ripple's court case pause as SEC case nears resolution. Two parties have agreed in principle to settle the case pending internal SEC approval. The U.S. Courts of Appeals has paused Ripple versus SEC appeal, granting a joint motion from both sides. The outcome of the case is set important precedents for regulators of digital assets in the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit has granted a joint motion to pause the appeal in the SEC Ripple Labs case as both parties move forward finalizing a settlement. According to a Wednesday's update, lawyer James Falant, something, Circuit Judge Jose signed the court order on April 16th, putting the appeal in absence, I believe, or on hold by mutual agreement. Okie dokie. Smoky. XRP court, XRP lawsuit court grants Ripple and SEC joint motion to suspend appeal. Let's see what we got here. Move this over.
XRP holders, I have great news for you.
See what the great news is Zach has to say real quick. I guess
Welcome back, guys. Hope you all are having a great day out there. All the Bears are going to be
pop into this guy as well. Who else is this?
Months ago, we just got an update about the.
Let's see what Zach's saying first.
You guys in this video. And it has to do with where we are in the maturation process of this cycle and a lot of analytical data to share with you guys. I just read the thread, thought it was phenomenally done. And I'm going to share and give credit where credit is due here in just a second. And I want to go through kind of where we are right now with the market cycles. I know there's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes when it comes to tariffs and macroeconomics, but no matter what, we are at a stage right now where, according to a lot of metrics, everything is getting ready to explode and break out at some point. And to me, this is where I am accumulating my favorite assets. If you guys watch my channel, you guys know that I have been focused in, honed in on the best assets I think have great upside potential when we come back into a really liquidity driven market. And guys, go ahead and smash the like button, subscribe down below right now if you have not already. It means a lot to me. A lot of people watch the video, they forget to hit the subscribe button. All it's going to mean is you're going to see my video pop up more often on YouTube. And I welcome you back. I really am alongside with you on this journey, man. And we're all trying to figure this out in real time. Don't think I have it all figured out or anybody has it all figured out. All I'm trying to do is put us in the best situation, right? And give you guys my thoughts as I'm going through my process along the way. So with that being said, let's get into it. And it starts over here on X. It says you don't have to be a genius to see what's about to happen. We always follow the same pattern, and the next alt season starts in April. Position yourself now and become a millionaire in 2025. Here's a list of the best altcoins with 100 to 250x potential, which sounds absolutely insane, but it's going to make a lot more sense once we get to, get through all of this. Okay. So you guys can see where things started in various seasons before this one, right? And look where we are right now. This little fake out pump that we had, everybody thought this was the bull run, right? And maybe, just maybe, that the real bull run is just about to start. And XRP could finally see fresh new all-time highs, right? Well, I want to tell you more. And again, shout out to OX Nobler here. I'm going to be interjecting my opinion as we go through this, but he's got a lot of great stuff. He's doing a cool giveaway over here too. But he said crypto markets move in cycles shaped by investor psychology, global regulations, emerging tech, and macroeconomic trends. The biggest winners aren't just early buyers, they're the ones who understand these patterns and position themselves before the crowd catches on. So it kind of goes like this. Market is bad. Not so bad, actually. I can do this. I got this. Making money is so easy. I am the king of the world. See, told you to buy the dip. And then, whoop, should I buy the dip? This is not supposed to happen. I got to get out of this. I hate this. Market is rigged. Market is bad. And here's where we are after this little bit of a press up. Now, with Bitcoin, it's different. Bitcoin has been on an uptrend for a while, but altcoins have not had their season yet. But this is what we need to understand. A typical crypto cycle follows some key things here, okay? Accumulation period. Smart money buys quietly. Then we got the uptrend. Retail interest grows and prices climb. Then distribution. Early investors start taking profits. Downtrend. Fear takes over. Prices dump, right? At this point, we're entering the breakout phase, Nobler says. There will be small shakeouts along the way, but the momentum is clearly building. Historically, this is when altcoins start to explode as BTC cools off and capital flows into low caps. Now, Bitcoin did set a new all-time high at 110,000. It has since cooled down a little bit. With altcoin season expected to begin in April, Nobler says, this might be the last real opportunity to buy before the market takes off. I saw this set up in both 2017 and 2021. Buying early made all the difference. Here's what I'm accumulating today. So he gets into it. Alchemy Pay is one of the assets he likes. This is somebody who, an asset I've talked about actually in the past. I'm going to go on and say Alchemy Pay is kind of in that same neighborhood as XRP with payment solutions. I like Alchemy Pay too. I've been invested in them before. I'm going to have to maybe reconsider sitting here looking at them at a $250 million market cap. I've had John Tan on my channel before multiple times. You guys can watch that. Just search Alchemy Pay and my name, and you'll find it on YouTube. I've had the CEO of this company on before. If you like XRP, you might like Alchemy Pay, actually. Ondo Finance. Now, Ondo is partnered with Ripple XRP. On-chain financial software to manage tokenized RWA and traditional crypto products. Huge opportunity here. He says Rio, which is end-to-end blockchain-based SaaS platform for the issuance, investment, and lifecycle management of digital securities and crypto assets. He's got ATH, decentralized real-time rendering network. He's got Render itself, which is GPU rendering network that connects those in need of GPU computing power with mining partners. He's got SWE on here, very bullish on SWE. He's got FIDA Network, which we've talked about them before in the past, Helium, Filecoin, and that's a wrap for now. I want to go ahead and add some of my big players in addition to what Nobler put down here. Now, you guys know I love XRP. I got to go there first. SWE, I love SWE, but he's already said it. I love Ondo. He's already said it. So what else? What other things do I like? And I'm going to try to mitigate risk and look at things that are in the top 100 that haven't really had a big run yet. These two assets right here I like, Caspa and BitTensor. BitTensor's in the AI sector, massive project already at a $2 billion market cap, but they haven't seen a bull run. Now they're listed everywhere. Caspa, another one, under the radar, did really good in the bear market. Algorand, this is a partner of mine. They are huge in the RWA sector. I think Algorand is going overlooked, underrepresented right now. And I will say one more down here toward the end of this list. I'm taking a look at Pendle. Pendle just entered the top 100 not too long ago. It's another RWA play sitting at that $500 million market cap. I like that one as well. So, guys, this is kind of where we are right now. When it feels as if it's all over, it's usually the best time to accumulate. And that's what I'm doing with XRP anytime it goes down below $2. That's what I'm doing with Ondo under $1. That's what I'm doing with SWE when it goes down under $2. I am trying to parse out and piece together a winning portfolio because I believe at some point this market is going to rebound in a massive way. And when that happens, the tool that I created or had created back in 2023 is going to be definitely something you're going to want at your disposal, guys. Now, you have nothing to lose with this offer because we have a 30-day money-back guarantee. You could try.
So he is right. I would agree with him. The market is just starting to heat up. And shout out to Zach Humphreys. Let's see what this guy has to say about Ripple News real quick. Moat Media. See what Moat Media is talking about. And this might be the last video. Unless you guys want to recap with Oscar. But let's see what Moat Media is talking about.
On this one, because we've got some very bullish things to talk to you about as it relates to Ripple and XRP. All I ask is if you do like talking about Ripple and XRP, drop an X in the comment section, smash that like button, give us a big thumbs up. Let's crack 1,000 likes and put some positive vibes out in the world here today and share this content. Let others around the world know what's truly happening in this digital revolution. Guys, we're having some fun here today, right? Whether you're a bear, whether you're bearish on XRP, you're a bull, you're bullish on XRP or anything in between, I got nothing but love for all of you, right? No hate to put out there. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. However, when it comes to XRP, I'm more bullish on this digital asset than any within this space. I take a look at the fundamentals, which I focus on mostly, I wouldn't say solely, but mostly on fundamentals, technicals, and together we have a dynamic duo. Investing, you have to have a vision. You have to see where the value is going to come. In this particular case, I'm going to talk to you about even in the short term, because I know a lot of people want to know win, right? I wanted to talk to you about that in this video as we've got several things to put out. Now, globally, what's happening economically in this tariff war, we can't control. Here today, we've got China now faces up to 245% tariff on imports to the United States as a result of retaliatory actions, while China came out here today, guys, stating that the U.S. must stop, quote, threatening and blackmailing if it wants to negotiate a trade deal. Now, on the other side of things, we've got Japan, who is a U.S. ally, stating that they are agreeing to negotiate a new deal with the United States. So, of course, very bullish on this situation. But right now we have a yo-yo. A lot of uncertainty out there, and the market shows that. There's not a lot of interest in this market, not a lot of capital coming in. Very few are actually taking advantage of this time and preparing for the bull run. Now, we take a look at XRP, and what it's going to do in this bull run is inevitable. It's inevitable based off the fundamentals and technicals. We've got Linda Jones, a top financial analyst, talking about what a $100 XRP would do for Ripple and having a $4.1 trillion war chest right now to allow for some of the financial problems we have within the system right now, to allow for a more transparent system on the blockchain, to allow for, if there is a financial crisis like we saw back in 2018, have some capital on the sidelines to actually help the US government out and the system as a whole globally, right? Who is an American company that is extremely close to the US government right now? That is Ripple. We see that with the photos themselves, right? Would have loved to hear what Donald Trump was talking to Brad Garlinghouse, CEO, and Stuart Alderati at the dinner they had with that picture, right? We got it confirmed. We know that Brad Garlinghouse set just seats down at the crypto summit from Donald Trump. Did we get a nothing burger, what you and I see, the public gets to see? It may look like that, but we have to understand that behind the scenes, a lot is getting said and done that we flat out just are not able to see. Now, she talks about what this hidden road acquisition is going to do as well. We are becoming less and less reliant on the banking system. XRP will be the #1 solution for this new financial system. Now, there are some liars out there, people putting out breaking, it's over. It's not over, guys. We got another 60 days. And the bears are probably going like this, loving it, right? And the price is down here today. I hear them grumbling around already. We got another 60 days. And for those long-term investors, most of us have been long-term at this point in time. We're numb to this, right? We're numb to the Ripple and SEC case. But what we've seen in the past, even back in November, even 2021, is that XRP can still shoot up in a big way, see multiples even under this case. Now, obviously, once this is over, it's going to be extremely bullish for XRP and what the banking system can do with XRP. But we got several things happening this year I think is going to allow this year XRP to see big gains. Now, and I'm going to get into that in a second, but this document I'll show you here, SEC and Ripple case, the joint motion to pause the appeal has been granted. The SEC is now required to file a status report within 60 days. So it's ongoing. So don't listen to anyone that's saying it's over. It's not over. But what do we know with XRP? XRP has 17 ETFs to go live this year. Ripple is looking to give XRP to the US government. XRP is being used to buy massive companies. A portion of XRP was just used to buy Hidden Road. US banks are ready to go all in on crypto this year. Regs are happening this year. Case legally over will happen this year. Now we've got to wait a little bit longer. I get it. It sucks. But we could go on and on all day long about why we should be bullish on XRP. Tariffs over here, big distractor. SEC and Ripple case over here, big distractor. What do we have with XRP? A digital asset that will have more value coming to it from around the world in a utility and use-based case that is going to allow us to become, I believe, very wealthy on a digital asset that has already guaranteed itself as a part of this financial system, in my personal belief. Let me know your thoughts, your opinions in the comment section below, guys. As always, I appreciate all your time, support. If you don't mind clicking that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on those notification bells. I'll see you all in the next one.
So with all the adoption set there, right? It's only a matter of time before XRP takes off. So let me know what you guys think. I just saw a video come in from Cadence. Let's check that out real quick. And then we'll shut it down for the day. Actually, I might do a turbo video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. But that'll be it for XRP. Let's see his quick XRP video, see what he's talking about, and shut it down.
Some major news for XRP. And if you hold even one token, write XRP in the chat so I know who I'm talking to. My long-term holders, I'm specifically talking to you. And my short-term holders of XRP who are trading in and out of it, you might want to hear this too. But specifically, I'm talking to my long-term people. You know how not too long ago they did a Bitcoin ETF and then they did an XRP ETF application recently? For those of you who don't know what that means, when you buy XRP, it's a cryptocurrency. People are making a lot of money with cryptocurrencies, but the way that cryptos gain in value is more people are able to buy it. Bitcoin, you could buy that cryptocurrency straight up. But now you could buy Bitcoin in your Roth IRA, in your 401k, in your retirement accounts, but not directly. You buy it through what they call a Bitcoin ETF. They call it a spot Bitcoin ETF, but it's basically a stock that you can buy that moves at a similar rate to Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin doubles, then that ETF is going to double as well. Bitcoin triples, it'll be the same. But now you don't have to take money out of your retirement account and then go and buy Bitcoin. You can buy it in there by buying a Bitcoin ETF. Now there's research firms that are saying that XRP is very likely the next one in line to get access to the 401ks, to the Roth IRAs through having an XRP ETF. Everybody that has XRP right now, my long-term holders, my short-term holders, what's going on is you have it on some type of an exchange, a crypto exchange. You might have it on your Coinbase, you might have it on Kraken, you might have it on crypto.com, any of those, but you don't necessarily have it in your Roth IRA and your 401k. So think about how many people, how many hundreds of nurses, doctors, firefighters, police officers, teachers might have access through their retirement accounts to buy things like this, but they can't do it necessarily because all of their retirement money is locked up to only being able to buy ETFs and stocks, not just going out in cryptocurrency. But now they're different. And I want you to look into this. I always tell you to double check everything that I say so you can see that I'm coming with the receipts. Now that we can see this, for XRP to be able to push up to the next leg, if we get access for this cryptocurrency from all of that wave of money, that's going to be huge for it. This is why these research firms who are studying XRP and saying that it might be the next one in line to get an ETF ahead of Dogecoin, ahead of Shiba Inu, ahead of Solana, they're saying that XRP is likely to be the next one. But they're saying this because XRP has what they call liquidity. The reason you want to think about that word liquidity is it means the ability to get in and out of something. So XRP is like the fourth biggest cryptocurrency in the entire world right now, meaning that there are so many different retail investors, everyday people like you and me in it. There are so many different institutions in it. I'm talking about your Fidelities, your Charles Schwabs, your BlackRocks, your Vanguards. They're in it too. They might be in it in the dark because they're not supposed to necessarily be in it the way that they're in it, but that's a whole nother story. But the liquidity is there, meaning if we wanted to buy $100 worth, we could. That's easy. If they wanted to buy $100 million worth, they could because the liquidity is there. There's enough of it moving around for them to take those big chunks out of it like that. And I want to give a shout out to today's sponsor, the Moomoo Investing app. I'm going to play a clip that's going to come up. And shout out to them for sponsoring the video. When I get demonetized, they always got our backs and get some free stocks. Here it goes. I'd like to give a shout out to the sponsor of today's video, the Moomoo Investing app, where you can get up to 8.1% interest in your uninvested cash while you're looking to see which stocks or ETFs that you would like to buy on your investing journey. And during this promotional period, you're going to get up to 60 free stocks. That's absolutely huge in terms of changing the game. And this is the biggest promotional period that I've seen on any investing app. And I've been doing this for a long time. So I highly encourage you to take advantage of it and use the link that's in the top of the description to sign up for Move today. Bet on yourself and invest into yourself. This is one of the platforms that has really changed the game for me personally because we live in an information age. Here's an example of that. Let's move on to Tesla's earnings that's coming up. You already know it's marked nice and clear on the Moomoo calendar. But if you really want to step your game up, you can tap into Moomoo's options earning analysis feature. And with this, you can see how Tesla's stock might move after earnings. Plus, you'll catch changes in the volatility, like how options usually get cheaper after the earnings when there's the instance called IV crush. You can also track how much the price was expected to move versus what's actually going down. And if you see some trends change and you stack that with other Moomoo tools, for example, looking at the fundamentals, you are now setting yourself up to trade way smarter. Moomoo is the way to up for Moomoo today. This feature, and you, whether you want to hear it or not, that if we break under the 160, you'll get a chance to get it even lower. But XRP, in my opinion, is still in the last 3 months, meaning that if we break under the 160, you'll get a chance to get it even lower. But XRP, in my opinion, is still a long-term hold. So that's going to make it easy for us to load up. However, that doesn't mean that it's going to go under 160. Listen to me close. That does not mean that it's going to go under 160. If we stay and get into a bull market, then we won't go under that 160. But you always want to have that dry powder ready in case you get an opportunity to get it severely low. Let's say that it goes to 160 and then it bounces. Then what we're looking for is to see on the other end of it is if we break over the 260. So now we are basically swinging in a $1 range between about $1.60 and about $2.60. So we break above that, we should be off to the races. However, if we break under that, then you're going to get a chance to get it even lower. But this is a long-term hold for me, and I'm also willing to short-term trade it. But I tell you what you need to know and what you need to hear versus what you probably just want to hear so that you can make some money just quick and get in and out. Some people want to do that. Some people want to hold on and make money long-term, and I'm among them who want to hold on to XRP. I believe in it long-term. And I always say, don't put money in it that you can't have weight. You got to use it for bills. You understand what I'm saying? You want to make sure you make it and make a lot of sense at the end of the day. But the research firms are looking for XRP to be the next one in line for the ETF, and that's absolutely huge. However, understand right now, what's going on is we're dealing with a lot of tariffs. We're dealing with a lot of fear in the market. But the fear is only there because people are getting ready to transfer the money that they have over to you if you are ready and understand what needs to be done to be able to knock this out of the park. Family, I'm telling y'all, there's so much money to be made. And I look forward to setting my new limit buy orders so I could buy it low rather than buying it high. I see that XRP is trading within a $1 range, like I said, between 160 and 260. So I'd rather buy it low than to be stuck buying it high all of the time and chasing it. That's how we're going to be able to make some money. I want to give a shout out to KGU.
Definitely want to get it low. But let me know what you guys think about that. And we are shutting it down. Thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And continue to DCA in. I don't know. Don't sell your kidneys to get in XRP. Get in what you can. It's not financial advice. This is just for entertainment purposes. But this is your main man, BTM, signing out on the Crypto News Network. And as always, let's get back to the money, guys, and stay dangerous. BTM out.